Just in time for the fall
Welcome to Fall Ritual Haunted Attraction Video Reviews 2020. Today I'm going to talk about Hotel of Horror / Altered Nightmares out in Saylorsburg, PA, in like the Pocono Mountain area. It's a place we've done several times before. I was really excited when they announced that they would be opening this season. I know a lot of indoor places aren't opening this year due to guidelines and whatnot. So I was definitely excited to hear that they were opening. This is a place that I was so excited to do this year. I actually went by myself. I couldn't find anyone to go with. No one really wanted to do indoor stuff. So I decided to go by myself. It's two attractions. It's the Hotel of Horror side, the Altered Nightmare side. It's $25 for the Hotel of Horror and $35 for both of them. So I highly recommend paying that extra $10 and doing the Altered Nightmare side. You can't just do the Altered Nightmare side. That's part of the combo. I'll tell you why a little later on in the review. But for an extra $10, it's definitely worth it. $35 for both attractions. It's definitely worth getting both of the both ticket options. Tickets are online only this year. Usually they do have a ticket booth where you can just buy tickets there, but this year it's online only. Now you do have to go to that ticket booth to show your phone or to print a ticket, and then it'll give you a ticket like this to get in. And if you do the Altered Nightmares, or the Altered Nightmare side, you'll get a wristband. I don't know if you can see it, but they definitely give you a wristband for that side. I first want to talk about the outside of this attraction, because it's definitely unique and totally different from any haunted attraction that's out there. First of all, it's in this old hotel. The hotel is gotta be about 200 years old. There's a lot of history behind it. It's a very creepy hotel, and they definitely play to that element. The music outside, when you get out of your car and you walk up to the building, you're going to hear music that you wouldn't hear in like any other haunt. It's almost these sound effects. There's crows squawking, there's sounds of bells ringing. It almost sounds like you're going to a funeral. And that's the whole vibe of this place. I was trying to think of a good word to use to describe this place. Me and my girlfriend were trying to think of a word or the whole theme of this place. The theme and vibe is very morbid, kind of depressing, a lot to do with death, and it's a very dark themed haunt. And I'm not talking about like dark hallways, even though there's a lot of that going on, but just a dark element, dark theme, dark vibe to it. It's almost like you're going to a funeral, which I've never been to a haunt where it's like been this so morbid, dark type place. You know, usually at other haunts there's music playing, bands playing, you know, it's not death themed as Hotel of Horror. But if you read the history of the hotel, I mean, you'll understand why they played to this. So walking up there is the ticket booth, and there's this really cool thing they did now. I'm not sure if it was there last year. It's been 2 years since I've been there. It's kind of like this little trail now you walk through, and there's a lot of cool like little props set up and everything. There is a actor walking around. That's really cool. A lot of cool photo ops out there. In previous years, you would get your ticket and walk underneath the building, and that's where you would wait in line, and they would have everyone go down there, and whatever excess people would just be waiting outside. It's just one continuous line. Now everyone waits outside, and they only send so many people underneath the building. This by far, I've only been to 3 haunts this year so far, but this by far has been the best with all the COVID guidelines. I mean, the hand sanitizing, the face masks, enforcing face masks, the social distancing, even outside before I got into underneath the building, there was no markers, like 6 feet markers, but people were still social distancing, which was great to see. So when your time comes up, you're going to go underneath the building, and underneath the building they do have taped off sections. So even like the 4 groups of people that are down there, they're all sectioned off. They did add this new awesome like clown facade type like entrance before you actually get to the door, which is awesome. That was new for this year. It has like this red light on it. I'll post that on my Instagram page so you can take a look at that. They still had the phone, and the phone was ringing, and I so wanted to pick it up, but it was taped off saying closed for 2020, which is a shame because I love answering that phone. They do, even prior to all this COVID stuff, even in the past years, they only send you in with your group. And obviously there's no different this year than past years. You're only going in with your group, which meant I went in by myself. And let me tell you, this is a place that freaks me out even when I'm with a group of people. This is one of the most terrifying haunts I've been to. And it's just the whole vibe of it, just the whole vibe of this place is just so creepy. So you don't go in, and the first thing I want to talk about when you step foot into the first attraction is the music. The music they play in there, again, it plays on this like dread. The whole thing has like this dread and like morbid vibe, and it's not even music, it's just kind of like this droning ambient music. And when you're going through these hallways and you're going through these stairs and you hear this, it really messes with you. It's just like you're hearing screams, and you don't know if the screams are coming from the music or coming from like another room. I would love to have this music just being played. It's just unbelievable, the music that they're piping through this haunt. It's just unreal. Next thing is the actors here. The actors here are so good and unbelievable. I mean, these actors are freaking me out. Like, that's how good they are. They're doing something in there with the COVID guidelines. I don't want to give it away. If it was on their website, I would tell you about it, but I don't think they really want to give this away. You have to experience it. They're definitely, all actors are wearing face masks. They're actually doing something else that keeping them safe, keeping you safe. It was very, very unique. They played on the whole social distancing thing perfectly with what they were doing. I was blown away of how you could still get great jump scares and still being safe, still being that distance. It was unbelievable what they were doing. You definitely need to check it out and just see how good it was being run by keeping guidelines. The sets and scenes in this place are so good. The sets are like movie sets, and it's no surprise that there was a movie actually filmed there. 6 Degrees of Hell, I think it was called, with Corey Feldman. So a movie was actually filmed there, and I can understand why. These sets are so detailed and so good, and everything, all the sets, all the actors play on this whole idea of death, and like you're at a funeral with the music and actors. The actors don't really scream at you. They just make these like groaning, like grunting, moaning sounds, and it's just so freaky. That just creeps me out. It's just, you're not going to hear these people just like screaming in your face and then just go off. You're going to hear these people just kind of like growl and like snarl at you, and it's just terrifying. It's one of those things that it's just like, oh God, I can't believe I'm doing this by myself. But I do highly recommend, even if you're a group, ask if, hey, can you go in by yourself? Can you go solo? Because I experienced things there by myself I never experienced before with a group. And one of those things, actually two of those things, one, the staircases. There's a lot of stairs in this place. Probably the most stairs in any haunt I've been to. But as I'm walking up and down these stairs, I feel someone that's like right behind me, almost like right on like my shoulder. And there's nobody there. There's no actors there. There's nothing but this creepy vibe, like someone is just like right over my shoulder as I walk down these stairs and up these stairs. I never experienced that before. Also, there's a lot of long, dark hallways that you have to walk down. Again, no actors in there, but as I'm walking down these long hallways, I don't feel someone's like directly behind me, but I feel someone's at like the end of the hallway watching me walk down this hallway. And I've never experienced that before. You're gonna get to some parts where there are like very tight, dark, narrow, sharp turns you're gonna have to navigate through. I didn't have gloves. I do recommend probably bringing a pair of like latex gloves, because there is a lot of stairs. Like say you're gonna be holding on to railings, you're gonna be like feeling walls. I didn't have gloves, but I did bring my own hand sanitizer. They do have tons of hand sanitizing stations throughout. But for an extra precaution, I would recommend gloves, or definitely your own bottle of hand sanitizer. There's also great scenes with like bloody sheets hanging. I think that's become like one of my new favorite things, like a strobe light with like bloody sheets hanging. It's just a really creepy effect. Like it's so bright. You see these bright white sheets, blood stained, and all of a sudden like the lights go out and they come back on. So when you get through, if you don't do the Altar Nightmare side, you don't come to a part. There's a lady, there was a lady there when I was there. She's asking if are you doing the Altar Nightmares or if you just did the hotel. If you just did the hotel, there's like an exit to your left that you're just going to go out of. If you do the Altar Nightmare side, you're going to go to the right. It used to be you would have to go out of the hotel and then back in line to do the Altar Nightmares section. I like and don't like how it's set up now. It used to be cool to go out of the hotel, kind of catch your breath, kind of like process what you just went through, get back in line, do the Altar Nightmare side. Now it's just like one continuous thing, which is also good because it doesn't give you time to like catch your breath, relax a bit, go through. It's like you go through one scene and then you're going straight to another. There is no time to relax. There is no time to catch your breath. There's no time to like process what you just went through. You're already going through the Altar Nightmare side, which is really cool because, you know, there's just no break in between. The Altar Nightmare side is the side I got the most jump scares. Those actors on that side were just incredible with, again, keeping the distance and giving you great jump scares. The sets are incredible, and to elaborate a little more on the sets, I've never seen in any haunt use so many skeletons and so many bones. And I wouldn't put it past this haunt to actually use some like real bones, just because they look so realistic. If they're not real, whoever painted them and did the whole scene did an incredible job. So either way, it's just really creepy. Like everything is just so realistic looking. There's tons of bone skeletons. There's this one scene on the Altar Nightmare side. It's like a voodoo scene. It's just awesome, like skeletal goat looking thing. It's just awesome looking. There's tons of bones, tons of little jars of stuff. Probably my favorite scene in between both of the attractions. There was a Krampus scene. I believe that was on the Altar Nightmare side. That was really good. The Krampus thing was just awesome. I don't remember that 2 years ago. I think that's new. There is a lot of like bending over and crouching. You don't have to crawl, but there is kind of like a crouching type scene where the ceiling's pretty low. That's actually when I got one of the biggest jump scares. There's a group kind of in front of me. Like I could hear them. I wasn't that close to them, but I could hear them in front of me. And as you're crouching, you get to a room, and then like an actor jumps down behind you, but the actor didn't realize I was that close. So all I see as I'm like crouching through are like these two legs drop. That freaked me out a lot. But the whole vibe of this place, if you haven't gone, you need to check it out. This is a haunt like no other. It's one that, like I said, really freaks me out. So far, it's been the best with the COVID guidelines. So if you're having a little, you know, I'm not really sure about going to haunts, especially indoor ones, this place is doing an incredible job following guidelines, making sure everyone's wearing masks, making sure everyone is just doing what they can for everyone's safety. But go check them out. Hotel of Horror, Poconos. You will not regret this place. It is unbelievable. Check them out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the subscribers. You can find me on Instagram at Fall Ritual. You can find me on Facebook, Fall Ritual. Thank you.